Hello, everyone. I'm Robert Nellams. It's my honor to be here today. It's my honor to speak to you. I'm sorry I have to do this online, but I'm in a COVID protocol to make sure that I'm safe and that you're safe. So hopefully we're all safe and we'll enjoy the rest of this lovely day and breakfast at Bellevue. So I'm going to start. I am honored to have been chosen to speak to you today. I only wish that my great-grandmother could see me standing here. My great-grandmother, Zelia Harris, drilled the importance of education into me from the day I was born. She told me, an education is something no one can take away from you. She also told me this: there is no shame in being prepared for an opportunity that never comes, but there is tremendous shame for having an opportunity come and not being prepared for it. Education helps prepare you for the opportunities that come. My great-grandmother was just one member of the community I was blessed to grow up in. And as you prepare to help students grow, mature, and succeed, I hope you will take a moment to remember the community that helped you. I am a proud first-generation graduate from Bellevue College, meaning I experienced all the great, the good, the bad, and the pressure associated with growing up as the oldest child, grandchild, and great-grandchild, someone who had to go to college. My father died 13 days after my first birthday, leaving my mother as a single parent with 2 children. My sister was 2 months old. I don't remember my father, and since I was so young, I did not grow up consciously missing him either. However, I do remember every sacrifice, gift, opportunity, every moment of support and love that my mother gave me. She is and will always be my hero. She transformed her life from that of a military housewife to a worker bee, banking exec, business owner, community leader, and political operative. I watched and learned how she navigated the minefields of society as a Black woman, mother, and activist, and I marveled at how her capacity to do all these things and raise my sister and me. My mother gave me strength to survive and to thrive, teaching that became clearer later on in my life. Remember the family that got you here, whether through blood or the family you have created. I came to Bellevue College over 40 years ago as someone who was trying to get back on track. I came to go to school, to play basketball, and after messing up at University of Washington, where I simply never went to class, I came to try and live up to the great expectations my family had placed on me. Bellevue College was a savior for me. It brought me back to the smaller class setting that I had become familiar with at Franklin High School in Seattle. It gave me the 2 things I needed most at the time: an opportunity to get back on track in school and to play basketball. I had a great time playing basketball, but I also had a good time starting my journey to becoming an accounting graduate from Central Washington University. That journey began here at Bellevue College, where I struggled a bit initially, but never gave up on my dream to become a college graduate. I played basketball at BC because that is what gave me joy. And to my surprise, I started to experience joy in the classroom here also. I knew I could do anything I put my mind to, but what I did not understand until I came to Bellevue College was that people who did not know me would care. My coach, Ernie Woods, cared about my education, and not just because I played basketball, but he cared about my future. We are still good friends. It took me a few years to really appreciate the professors who I have trouble remembering, who tried to help, or the advisors who tried to inspire, and the coaches who tried to motivate me to be all that I wanted to be. I am so grateful for the opportunity they gave me, the support they provided me, and the expectations they helped me establish. My education at Bellevue College is part of the foundation of who I am today. My education at Bellevue College and Central Washington University are the pieces tied together of my growing up and becoming an adult. I learned so many things about myself on this journey. I learned that I could succeed on my own terms, and those terms were more important than almost anything on this journey. I learned I could do well when I focused on what I wanted to do and erased all the naysayers and negative voices around me. I learned that although I was working on my own future, I was living through the past lens of my mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother, and any success that I have is a tribute to them. I learned the difference between acquaintances and true friends, and my best friend to this day is someone named Buddy Miles, someone I met at Bellevue College. I learned that although I could play basketball well, it was a guiding path to a better future for me, but not something I should count on or rely upon. I learned how thinking as a grounded, smart, and responsible person could really impact others. I learned to believe in myself, my family, and friends, and that could carry me a long way. I learned how to carry myself and to fight for what I believed in. I learned to simply become myself, 100% unashamedly me. Bellevue College was the beginning of this journey for me, and I am beholden to the professors, advisors, friends, and coaches who saw things in me before I saw them in myself. I am forever grateful for the journey I began at Bellevue College, and I appreciate more than they will ever know the folks who helped and believed in me. As I look back on my career, where I started working for the city of Seattle in October 1982 as an accountant, it is in all, I have spent 40 years of my life working at the city of Seattle, the past 16 years as the director of Seattle Center. My journey at Bellevue College helped give me the strength to realize what I wanted to do. And let me tell you a little story about my professional journey. I spent the first 14 years of my career working in finance at the city of Seattle. And although I got several promotions and opportunities for advancement, I realized early on that I did not really want to become an accountant or finance person. I found out for sure when, after studying for almost a year, I took and passed the CPA exam and then refused to complete the paperwork to get my certificate. My wife thought I had lost my mind. But I knew if I became a CPA, I would have been that for the rest of my life. And somewhere deep inside of me, I believed there was a different path for me. A couple of lessons learned starting back at Bellevue College were that are you going to be curves, and that there are going to be curves in the road of your life. So be willing to listen to yourself and to change course if you're not happy or satisfied with what you're doing. I had grown into someone who understood what they wanted and did not want, and I was ready to go after it. The last 26 years of my career, I've been working at Seattle Center. First as the director of patron services, then as the deputy director, and the last 16 years as the director. I won't bore you with the non-COVID facts and figures about Seattle Center, like 12 million annual visitors, $1.9 billion in annual economic impact, 16,000 annual events, 7,500 jobs, and over 30 resident organizations. However, I will tell you that working at a place whose purpose is to inspire the human spirit and build community has been the happiest and most fulfilling years of my work life. Now, before I let you tell me let me tell you one last thing about Bellevue College. Bellevue College gave me the love of my life. I met my wife on a blind date while she was working at Bellevue College. Her assistant, Cheryl, was a friend of mine and had tried to get us to meet each other for a couple of years. We both thought that we were like the only two Black people she knew, so we did not take her seriously. But in 1986, we decided to meet on October 10th, and we fell in love. We got married on October 10th, 1987. 10-10, because you can't take the accountant out of me. We have been together ever since, and she is the rock that grounds me and helps me be myself in too many ways to mention. She is the love of my life, and I am most grateful to Bellevue College for bringing her to me. In closing, I would like to share my favorite quote with you. The quote is from Maya Angelou. People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Bellevue College made me feel like I mattered, knew who I was, and had something I could give to others. So with your support of Bellevue College, it can make you feel like you're helping people like me realize their goals and make a difference in our community. Thank you. Peace.